Monkey wake up one morning and the jungle feel different. The banana trees that used to shake and drop fruit every single day, they are quiet. Some are barely standing. The other monkeys are walking slower. A few banana stalls in the market have gone dark overnight. Monkey look around and feel a monkey bank make an announcement from the big rock in the center of the jungle. Banana production is down. Leaf circulation has slowed. Monkey panic. Recession bad. Recession scary. Monkey must stop recession. But here's the thing some economists, both the old school and the new school, will tell you that a recession is not just an accident. It is not a random disaster that falls from the sky. And stopping it might be the most dangerous thing the monkey government ever tries to do. This is the story of the business cycle, and it is going to change the way monkey looks at the jungle forever. Every jungle goes through a cycle. Things grow fast, things slow down, things contract, things grow again. This is not a bug in the banana economy. It is closer to a feature. The business cycle is the natural rhythm of any economy that runs on investment, lending, and the chasing of profit. Leaves flow, bananas get planted. Some trees do very well, others do not. And eventually the jungle has to decide which trees deserve to stay standing. During the low interest means cheap leaves. Cheap leaves mean any monkey with an idea can borrow a pile of leaves and plant a tree. So everyone plants trees. Some of those trees are incredible. But some of those trees are planted in bad soil with borrowed leaves by monkeys who probably should not be in the banana business at all. These are the malinvestment trees. Malinvestment means resources, leaves, labor, and soil, got directed toward projects that only looked good because borrowing was cheap. The tree got planted not because the jungle needed bananas there, but because leaves were practically free and the monkey felt optimistic. Some are producing real bananas. Some are producing almost nothing. But when leaves are cheap and the monkey bank keeps pumping liquidity into the system, even the bad trees can keep borrowing just enough leaves. They never die. They never get cleared. They just stand there, rotting slightly, consuming soil and sunlight that better trees could be using. Economists have a name for these: zombie companies. Or in the jungle, a zombie tree produces just enough bananas to pay back the interest on its leaves, but never enough to act held upright by cheap borrowed leaves. And as long as the monkey bank keeps rates low, the zombie trees multiply. Monkey walk past one of these trees every single morning without real. Now here is where the Austrian School of Economics, a tradition going back over 100 years, gets very serious and slightly alarming. The Austrian argument is this: every period of artificial easy money creates a corresponding pile of malinvestment that has to eventually be cleared. The longer the monkey bank keeps the cheap leaves flowing, the bigger the pile of bad trees grows. And the bigger the pile, the worse the eventual clearing is going to be. The recession is not what breaks the jungle. The recession is the jungle trying to fix itself. Think of it like this. Imagine the jungle has a controlled burn policy. Every few years, the forest rangers set small fires in the underbrush. The fires are uncomfortable, but the forest floor gets cleared. New light reaches the soil. New growth explodes. The jungle comes back stronger and denser than before. This small clearing is a mild recession. Painful for the monkeys involved. Genuinely hard if your tree is one of the ones that comes down, but survivable and necessary. Now imagine the jungle decides that small fires are too upsetting. The monkey government steps in every single time a fire tries to start. They dump stimulus leaves on the flames. They offer cheap water to every tree that looks like it might fall. They announce emergency banana support programs. The fire goes out. The underbrush does not burn. Then 5 years later, the underbrush is 3 times as thick. And when that fire finally starts, because it always starts, it does not burn the underbrush. It burns everything. That is the difference between a recession and a depression. And the uncomfortable argument from Schumpeterian economics, named for the economist Joseph Schumpeter, is that societies which suppress creative destruction is the process by which old, inefficient production gets dismantled so that new, better production can take its place. The zombie trees fall. The soil they were... New monkeys with better seeds move into that space. The banana economy evolves forward instead of stagnating. Monkeys sit down on a log and think about this for a long time. So monkey government watering dead trees with stimulus leaves is bad? The older monkey sitting next to him scratches ear. Not always bad. Bad if it goes on forever. Good in a panic. The trick is knowing when to stop. That distinction matters enormously. There is a real and serious mainstream economic argument that during acute crises, genuine panics where even healthy trees are being swept away by a liquidity collapse. The policy debate of 2025 was full of exactly this tension. Is the slowdown a healthy clearing of malinvestment, or is it a dangerous contagion spreading to genuinely productive parts of the jungle? Deleveraging is the process where monkeys and institutions pay down their borrowed leaves instead of spending them. When every monkey is paying down debt at the same time, spending collapses. Leaf velocity drops. Even the good trees start losing business. Not because they are bad trees, but because nobody has loose leaves to spend. In those moments, a targeted it is giving the healthy trees enough water to survive the drought until the market rebalances. But here is the structural problem that keeps repeating. When the monkey bank steps in hard enough and fast enough to prevent any pain, when every dip gets rescued, every zombie tree gets a bailout, every overextended monkey investor gets covered by monkeys start borrowing recklessly because they learn that the monkey bank will always arrive with more leaves. Moral hazard is what economists call this. The belief that losses will be socialized, and without fear of loss, the malinvestment gets worse with every cycle. The zombie trees multiply. The good soil gets slowly swamped with dead wood. Productivity in the jungle. The gains from each expansion get a little smaller. The structural unemployment, the monkeys whose skills are locked inside failing industries that should have been cleared years ago, gets bigger with every delayed recession. Monkey News break in with a special report. Jungle productivity index flat for third consecutive season. Economists disagree on cause. Monkey turn off the Vine television. Monkey already understands the cause now. There is one more concept that completes this picture. Productivity reallocation. When a recession happens and the zombie trees finally fall, something happens in the economic aftermath that almost never gets covered in the fright. The skilled monkeys who were maintaining those dying trees become available. The tools those trees were using become available. The land becomes available, and the fastest growing parts of the new economy move in and absorb. This is why in the years following even brutal recessions, you often see unexpected explosions of innovation. New industries emerge from the cleared soil. The economic churn is devastating in the short term. This is the uncomfortable math of creative destruction that most political conversations carefully avoid. Because politicians face elections, and they want to water the trees. They want to show action. The structural logic of the business cycle and the electoral logic of governing a frightened jungle point in completely opposite directions. Monkeys sit back down with the older monkey. So what monkey's supposed to do? The older monkey pick up a small brown leaf and a bright green one. Hold them both up. Know the difference between a tree that is sick and a tree that is dying. Water the sick ones. Let the dying ones fall. Plant something new in the space. Easy to say, hard to execute when the whole jungle is watching. The banana economy is not cruel by design. It is honest by nature. And the business cycle, the expansion, the boom, the malinvestment buildup, the contraction, the clearing, the recovery, is the jungle telling the truth about what was built on real foundation and what was built on cheap borrowed leaves and wishful thinking. A recession is uncomfortable. Sometimes it is devastating. Monkey know this. But the jungle that never burns grows so thick with dead wood that the fire that eventually comes cannot be stopped by any amount of stimulus leaves or emergency banana programs. Monkey look out at the jungle. Some trees are falling today. New soil is visible for the first time in years. Somewhere in the distance, a young monkey is carrying a seed toward that freshly cleared ground. The jungle will grow back. It always does. And it will grow back stronger for the clearing. And as always, apes together strong. So let us go back to the beginning and think about what the business cycle is really telling us. It is not a punishment. It is not a failure of policy. It is the economy revealing what is real and what is not. Every expansion plants seeds, some good, some bad. The boom disguises the bad ones. The contraction exposes them. And the clearing, the Austrian economists were not wrong when they said easy money distorts investment signals. When leaves are cheap, every idea looks fundable. When leaves get expensive again, the truth comes out. The Keynesian economists were not wrong either when they said collapsing demand can drag down good trees alongside bad ones. The recession can overshoot. The clearing can become a catastrophe if nobody intervenes at all. The real insight is not that one school is right and the other is wrong. The real insight is that both are describing different moments in the same cycle. And knowing which moment you are in is everything. Are you in the early contraction, where the clearing is healthy and intervention would only delay necessary pain? Or are you in the acute crisis, where contagion is spreading and targeted support saves what shouldn't? That question, which moment is this, is the hardest question in all of macroeconomics. And the monkeys who answer it correctly tend to look like geniuses. And the monkeys who answer it wrong tend to make things much, much worse. So how does monkey develop that judgment? How does any monkey, individual investor, policymaker, business owner, learn to read which phase of the cycle they are actually in? The first signal is credit conditions. When borrowing becomes extremely easy and every monkey with a half-baked banana idea is getting a leaf loan, that is a signal the expansion has gone too far. The second signal is asset prices. When banana farms are selling for 10 times what their actual banana output justifies, something is being priced on hope rather than reality. That is a late. The third signal is zombie density. How many businesses in the jungle are only surviving because interest rates are low? If the answer is a lot, the jungle has built up significant fragility beneath the surface. The fourth signal is sentiment. When every monkey is confident, when risk feels like it has disappeared, when the older monkeys who remember the last clearing are being laughed at for being too cautious, that is often exactly these four signals together: credit conditions, asset prices, zombie density, and sentiment form a kind of early warning system for where the jungle is in its cycle. None of them are perfect. All of them are useful. Monkey does not need to predict the exact moment the fire starts. Monkey needs to know whether the underbrush is thin or thick. That knowledge alone changes everything about how to position, how to invest, how to build. A monkey who builds a business on the assumption that cheap leaves will last forever is building on sand. A monkey who understands the cycle builds with the clearing in mind: strong roots, low debt, real value delivered to real customers. The jungle rewards the patient monkey. The monkey who plants real trees in real soil, who keeps enough leaves in reserve to survive a contraction, who does not confuse a boom with permanent prosperity, that monkey comes out of every clearing stronger. And there is one more thing worth saying. The monkeys who suffer most in every recession are not the ones who cause the malinvestment. They are the workers, the small business owners, the ordinary jungle residents who had nothing to do with the zombie trees but whose livelihoods depend on a functioning jungle. This is why the policy question is never purely abstract. Every decision about when to intervene and when to let the clearing happen has real consequences for real monkeys who are just trying to live their life. The business cycle is not a morality play. The zombie tree owners are not villains. They responded rationally to the incentives the monkey bank created. The problem is systemic, not personal, which means the solution has to be systemic too. Better incentive structures, smarter monetary policy, regulatory frameworks that do not allow zombie trees to crowd out healthy ones for decade after decade. And a political culture that is honest enough to tell the jungle that sometimes the clearing is necessary, that the pain of a controlled burn is real but survivable, that the alternative, the uncontrolled fire, is far worse. This is hard. Nobody said it was easy. The business cycle has been running for as long as there have been economies, and the debate about how to manage it has been running just as long. But Monkey is smarter now than when this video started. Monkey understands the expansion. Monkey understands the malinvestment. Monkey understands the zombie trees and the clearing and the creative destruction and the productivity reallocation. Monkey understands moral hazard and deleveraging and the difference between a sick tree and a dying tree. Monkey understands why politicians water dead trees and why that is dangerous in the long run. Monkey understands that a recession is not the end of the jungle. It is the jungle renewing itself, and that the monkeys who understand the cycle are better positioned to survive it and to plant the right seeds in the cleared ground. So the next time Monkey News breaks in with a special report about a slowing economy or a market correction or a recession warning, Monkey will not panic. Monkey will ask the right questions. How thick is the underbrush? And somewhere in that freshly cleared ground, a young monkey is already planting. And as always, apes together strong.